Larry Bird has suddenly sparked a major online debate after making a fiery comment that many believe revealed an overlooked side of LeBron James. The NBA world quickly erupted when Bird, during a recent interview, was asked to choose who was greater between Kobe Bryant and LeBron. What seemed like a simple question instantly shifted the mood, as Bird's calm demeanor disappeared and his response came out sharp and emotional, setting social media ablaze and leaving fans stunned by how strongly he reacted.
That one right there made me the greatest player of all time.
For so many reasons.
But that moment was only the start, because Bird didn't stop there. He went on to explain his stance in detail, even touching on behind-the-scenes moments involving Kobe Bryant and LeBron James that shocked many fans. According to Bird, his anger had nothing to do with hating LeBron. It came from believing the question itself crossed a line. In his eyes, comparing Kobe to LeBron ignored the values that built the league and disrespected the legends who earned greatness the hard way. Bird comes from an era where respect was gained through sacrifice, not self-promotion, where players let championships, toughness, and consistency do the talking. Kobe never declared himself the greatest, and neither did Michael Jordan. They proved it on the court. Bird suggested that trying to convince the world through words instead of work goes against everything basketball once stood for, and that belief is what made him snap in that interview.
We all can be masters at our craft, but you have to make a choice. What I mean by that is the inherent sacrifices that come along with that.
To Bird, that contrast couldn't be clearer. He pointed to one player as someone who carefully shapes narratives, manages public perception, and thinks about headlines long before the real grind begins. Kobe Bryant, on the other hand, symbolized something entirely different: pure obsession, relentless sacrifice, and a willingness to endure pain in silence. Kobe didn't chase validation, he chased perfection, and that unforgiving mindset is what defined his legacy in a way words never could.
But if you want to have fun like I did with Bill Walton, you play with LeBron.
Really?
It'd been probably more fun to play with LeBron. But if you want to win and win and win, it's Kobe.
Bird's argument went deeper, pointing to the grind that defined true fear on the court, endless film sessions, brutal early morning workouts, and defensive duties most players avoided. That relentless approach made Kobe intimidating before the ball was even tipped, as opponents felt the pressure simply standing across from him. In contrast, Bird suggested LeBron has always favored ideal conditions, thriving when the system is built around comfort and control, which he viewed less as raw greatness and more as calculated presentation. After the interview, reports claimed Bird's frustration came from seeing the media repeatedly push LeBron into conversations meant for a rare class of competitors, warriors like Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, and Bird himself, players who made rivals nervous just by sharing the floor. To Bird, comparing LeBron to them missed the point entirely, because this wasn't personal, it was principle. Some debates aren't opinions, they are facts. Kobe represented fear, obsession, and sacrifice, while LeBron became a carefully managed brand. And when Bird speaks on this, his words carry weight, shaped by a career forged in the NBA's most punishing era. Entering the league in 1979 with the Boston Celtics, he thrived when physical play was brutal, space was scarce, and toughness was non-negotiable. Bird played through injuries that would sideline modern stars, including the 1985 playoffs when he dislocated his shoulder and still finished with 20 points and 10 rebounds, proving he wasn't battling just anyone, but the fiercest competition the league had to offer. That I'm talking Bird's perspective comes from seeing the game at every level and against its greatest icons, from battling Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar with his unstoppable skyhook, Julius Erving, and Michael Jordan, to later, facing the league from the sidelines and front office. After his playing days, Bird coached against Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal, then evaluated talent as an executive, giving him a front-row seat to what real commitment looks like. He watched Kobe grind through early morning workouts, obsess over film, and live by that relentless Mamba mentality. And he also watched LeBron dominate highlight reels with powerful drives, dunks, and eye-popping stats. But to Bird, the difference was clear. One lived for the craft, the other lived within a carefully managed spotlight. Bird isn't chasing clicks, headlines, or fan approval. He's never needed to hype anyone or tear anyone down for attention. Known for being brutally honest, he speaks from experience forged in the NBA's most physical era, shaped by decades on both sides of the game. So when he brushed aside the Kobe versus LeBron question, it wasn't hesitation or disrespect, it was certainty. Most expected a safe, diplomatic answer, but Bird didn't pause or sugarcoat it. He broke the comparison apart and made it clear that, in his eyes, this debate was never even close.
Like, is Michael Jordan a friend of yours?
He's a good mentor, man. He's like a big brother.
He is, okay.
Yeah.
That single line from Bird ended up saying more than hours of podcasts or endless articles ever could. When he mentioned fun, he was clearly pointing to LeBron's style of play. The explosive dunks, viral highlights, and effortless moments made for social media. It's exciting to watch, no doubt, but to Bird, that's where it stops. The win part, however, was pure Kobe Bryant. That meant brutal workouts, unwanted defensive assignments, and playing through pain, whether it was broken fingers or torn ligaments. Kobe took the final shot every time, even when failure seemed inevitable, and that fearless mindset is what made him truly dangerous. Bird wasn't claiming LeBron couldn't win. He was saying LeBron wasn't built for that constant, all-or-nothing mentality. LeBron's advantage has always been control, reading situations, shaping narratives, and thriving in perfectly designed systems, while Kobe simply lived and breathed basketball. That's why Bird didn't need stats or long explanations, and why his words hit so hard. In one blunt sentence, he summed up a debate that's dragged on for decades. Kobe represented basketball in its rawest form, while LeBron represented the spectacle. For old-school legends like Bird and many longtime fans, that difference alone closed the case. Kobe never chased popularity or influence. He chased warriors, modeling his entire identity after Michael Jordan through an almost obsessive level of study.
It was flawless. I wanted to make sure my technique was just as flawless.
Been down a half court and he wanted to know how, when I turn around on my jump shot, how to feel the defense. I told him you should feel the defense with your leg.
Kobe's study of Michael Jordan went far beyond watching highlight tapes. He obsessed over the smallest details, breaking down foot placement, shoulder angles, and the subtle ways Jordan set defenders up several moves in advance. Kobe would rewind the same play again and again until he fully understood why it worked, pushing his mind to the edge in the best possible way. What many forget is that in the late 1990s, Kobe didn't admire Jordan from a distance. He reached out to him directly, asking questions most players were too proud to admit they didn't know. He wanted to learn how to create space without relying on speed, how to shift a defender's balance, and how to make the same move feel new every single time.
Really break it down for us, because it seems like Kobe is the closest thing we've ever seen to MJ.
Molly, you're absolutely right.
Jordan himself later admitted that Kobe was the only player who truly pushed him on a mental level, because Kobe wasn't looking for praise. He was hunting for answers. That mindset set him apart. And it wasn't just Jordan who saw it. Magic Johnson, the very symbol of Showtime basketball, publicly said Kobe was the closest thing to Michael Jordan the game has ever seen, reinforcing the idea that Kobe's greatness wasn't built on hype, but on relentless obsession and respect from the legends who knew the game best.
I've never seen nobody as competitive like him, but Mike. That's it. Like when people talk about, your favorite players and best players in the world, I say Mike and I say Kobe, and then everybody else.
For younger NBA fans, here's some perspective. Magic Johnson didn't just play the game. He went toe-to-toe with Larry Bird, built a dynasty, and knew exactly what it took to win championships. He's widely regarded as one of the top 5 players in NBA history, and many even call him the greatest Laker ever. So when Magic places Kobe in the same conversation as Jordan, it's not nostalgia, it's pure recognition. And he's not alone. Allen Iverson went even further, declaring that after Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant was the greatest player of all time, cementing Kobe's legacy in the eyes of those who truly understand the game.
Kind of tell us about that.
He dislocated his finger, and it can be really, really difficult depending on the dislocation back into place. And then as soon as it goes in, he was gone. Like I patted him on the head, like, okay, it's going to be okay. Next thing I know, he was gone. That in and of itself showed the toughness and the tenacity of Kobe Bryant.
Coming from someone who actually guarded Kobe, that kind of praise carries serious weight. What truly impressed Bird was how Kobe thrived when things got hardest. He actively sought out the toughest defensive assignments, taking pride in shutting down the other team's best player, even if it drained energy he could have used to score. And when the game hung in the balance, while most players looked to pass the pressure off, Kobe wanted the ball. Double teams, full arenas, and the risk of criticism didn't deter him. He embraced the responsibility because he believed it was his job. Bird had lived in those high-stakes moments himself and recognized that mindset immediately. Modern fans often glorify